If a man says to a woman on the first date, "Oh, hello, let's get married," it looks strange. The same thing can happen in sales. Just as in serious relationships, trust must be established between people in sales. Hello, my name is Serhi Heros. I am a sales trainer, and in this video, I will explain the principles and mechanisms of building trust. This information is not even available in all paid courses, so make sure to watch this video until the end. Very often, certain managers try to sell without building trust, thinking they have a great product, and they are surprised when the client doesn't buy it. That is, they abruptly pounce on the client with demands like, "Buy our product, we are the best on the market." Or the manager tells the client, "You are missing out on many opportunities without us." But in order to sell, you need to know the client's deep motives and develop the relationship around them, around the client's values. You knew this, but it doesn't always work out. In other words, this is called warm communication. Each subsequent contact, or even each phrase, increases or decreases the client's trust in you, obviously. But what is the reality for you? I won't tell you about content, marketing, and advertising because you already know that. I haven't discovered America for you. A person buys from another person if there is trust and a quality product. But the most difficult part is to teach managers in such a way that they can build trust in conversations with most clients. But do you ask yourself every day, what should have been said to the manager so that he could build trust? What needed to be said to the client to make them buy? I will tell you the principles of building trust in a live conversation, which you might know but sometimes forget to use. First, how much does your client feel your positivity? Second, is it the number of agreements in a conversation or in correspondence, which is more, agreements or doubts? Do not write or say things that cause doubts. For example, do not suggest a meeting if the interest is low. Do not take risks. If there is no interest, do not talk about the product, because there is no trust. If there are objections at the start, turn them into agreements. For example, you can say this: imagine you are the client and I am speaking to you as the manager. I understand that not only quality, but also price is important to you. Do I understand correctly? And what will you say? Well, yes, I will continue. I assume that you already have suppliers, you have goods in stock, and you will buy from us only when there is a need, and you will check the quality. What about this? What will you say? You will say, well, maybe, yes. Next, I continue. Looking into the future, what else besides quality and price is important for you to know to ensure that the new supply or service meets your needs? Perhaps also mention some advantage or ask a question to identify the motives that will influence the decision-making. Notice that we identified the client's objection before they did, and they agreed. This is how you build trust, by creating micro-agreements and preempting objections. If it's not clear or you need an example, write in the comments. That is, if a client can refuse and you know the principle of building trust, create a situation where the client agrees with you and answers your questions. This will help you identify the purchase rider. In other words, what needs to happen for the client to buy? Start with micro-agreements. Thirdly, you need to know the client's personal values. To do this, ask questions to uncover them, but don't ask directly, like, what are your values? If you want to know how to do this natively and comfortably with examples, write in the comments or contact me personally using the contact information in the video description. Fourth, you need to be an expert, but don't talk too much, and remember that the client can only absorb information for 15-30 seconds. So if you have many advantages, list them one by one. And at the end of the phrase, add a question to determine how well it fits or resonates with the client's values that you have identified before presenting the benefits. I will also list the things that should not be done, as they reduce trust. If you talk more than the client, if you think you will interest your client with your product, yes, the product is important, but for some clients, shared values in the relationship are more important than your product. I will not teach you to sell to those who are already buying from you. Think about those to whom you couldn't sell, What was missing there? Did you talk a lot? Present. Did you explain everything clearly, but the client still went away to think? Or perhaps you still don't know the personal values and motives of your clients. Think that you have a great product, you have explained everything, and you need to improve marketing. Now I will tell you what can be done to improve your skills or those of your managers. First, acknowledge that you need to recognize the mistakes you don't see, because a person remembers 20% of what was actually said to the client. This has been proven by scientists. So how can you provide yourself with honest feedback? Similarly, how can you make a good hairstyle if you don't look in the mirror? In sales and negotiations, you need to look in the mirror with your eyes, not just your ears. Take a recording of a conversation, screenshots of a chat or a meeting recording. Transcribe it. Count the number of phrases, the number of positive reactions, and the number of negative ones. Ask yourself a question. Who is responsible for a positive reaction to your phrase, you or the client? Who is responsible for creating positivity? If you understand that you are responsible for the outcome of the communication, then do not say phrases that can be objected to. If you hear a no when asking if it's convenient to talk during a cold call, don't ask that question. However, you can say it if trust has already been established. Also, don't ask if you should call tomorrow or the day after, if there is no interest. Therefore, create this interest. How to do this will be discussed in the next videos. Subscribe. There will be real examples.